The indictment case against Mr. Allen Onyema of APs by United States authority on charges of fraud and money laundering is developing very fast. A warrant of arrest has been issued against Mr. Onyema by the United States authority, and Canada authority have commenced effort to execute a corresponding arrest warrant issued for Mr. Onyema of AP's boss and Mr. Ejiroghene Eghagha, head of finance and administration. Hi guys, you're watching Chiki series. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for your support. I quite appreciate that. It's good to have you around again. And if you're new to this channel, kindly consider subscribing by clicking on the red subscribe button. Also hit the bell icon, that way you get notification whenever I upload a new video. So it's no longer news that Mr. Allen Onyema, CEO of APs, has been indicted for over 20 million US dollar fraud alongside Ejiroghene Eghagha, who is the head of finance and admin for APs. The United States Department of Justice announced the allegation against these two on Friday night, 22nd November 2019, accusing Mr. Onyema of moving more than 20 million US dollars from Nigeria through United States bank account in a scheme involving false documents based on the purchase of airplanes. And Ejiro Eghagha was charged with bank fraud and identity theft in connection with the same case. However, the two suspects have denied the allegation in a statement released on 23rd November, indicating their determination to file the charges in court. It is very sad and disheartening that this indictment and charges are coming at this point in Onyema's life when everybody is singing praises about him because of the role he played in volunteering his aircraft to evacuate Nigerians from South Africa for free after the recent xenophobic attack in September 2019, and that happens to be one of the biggest news that hit the internet this year. He received lots of accolade and also received standing ovation from the members of House of Representatives. If I can remember very well, I shared a video on that on this channel, and also how people reacted concerning what he did. While most people are singing praises of him, of his good heart, some people are worried about the source of his wealth because most people seem not to be familiar with the name. And I can say really that singular act of evacuating stranded Nigerians from South Africa really put him on limelight and also made him popular because a lot of media houses interviewed him. Actually, APC is the largest commercial airline in Nigeria right now, and they are seriously expanding because this year he signed a deal of 2.1 billion US dollars for the delivery of 10 jets from Brazilian aircraft manufacturer Embraer. So as you can see, this is a big deal, and some people have linked this indictment to his choice of buying aircraft from Brazil instead of the United States. And why the indictment is coming at this time after several years of the transaction, why didn't they publish it earlier? Why some people are of the opinion that it's the government of Nigeria that is behind it because he's an Igbo man and they are being threatened by his wealth, so they decided to send a message to US to investigate him. There has been lots of reaction concerning this indictment, and more people are still reacting to this. According to the indictment and other information presented in the court, it was stated that Mr. Allen Onyema is the founder and chairman of several organizations that purport to promote peace in Nigeria, and he is CEO of Nigerian airline APs, which he founded in 2013. That at beginning in 2010, Mr. Onyema began traveling frequently to Atlanta, where he opened several personal and business bank accounts. Then, between 2010 and 2018, over 44 million US dollars was allegedly transferred into his Atlanta-based account from foreign sources, and over 3 million US dollars of the funds used in purchase of the aircraft allegedly came from bank accounts of his several organizations, including Foundation for Ethnic Harmony, International Center for Nonviolence and Peace Development, All Time Peace Media Communication Limited. Following the founding of APs from approximately May 2016, Onyema, together with Eghagha, allegedly used a series of export letters of credit to cause banks to transfer more than 20 million US dollars into Atlanta-based bank accounts controlled by Onyema. The letters of credit purportedly used to fund the purchase of 5 separate Boeing 737 passenger planes by APs, and they were supported by documents such as purchase agreements, bill of sales, and appraisals to prove that APs was purchasing the aircraft from Springfield Aviation Company, a business registered in Georgia. However, it was eventually found out that the supporting documents were fake, and Springfield Aviation Company, owned by Onyema, never owned any aircraft, and that the manager is a person with no connection to the aviation business, and that the company that allegedly drafted the appraisals did not exist. Mr. Eghagha allegedly was involved in the scheme, directing Springfield aviation manager to sign and send false documents to banks, and even using the manager's identity to further the fraud. It was also stated that after Mr. Onyema received the money in the United States, he allegedly laundered over 16 million US dollars of the proceeds of the fund by transferring to other accounts, from which he paid for personal living expenses, including an armored Lexus LX 570, a Rolls Royce, and a Mercedes, plus purchase at Prada, Louis Vuitton, and Apple stores in Atlanta. So based on this, Onyema, age 56, and Eghagha, age 37, were indicted on 19 November 2019 on 1 count of conspiracy to commit bank fraud, 3 counts of bank fraud, 1 count of conspiracy to commit credit application fraud, and 3 counts of credit application fraud. Onyema was additionally charged with 27 counts of money laundering, and Eghagha was charged with 1 count of aggravated identity theft. He went further to say, note that the indictment only contains charges. The defendants are presumed innocent of the charges unless proven otherwise, and that it will be the government's burden to prove the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. I'm a bit worried here about the timelines because I thought US organizations would have been able to scrutinize and detect the fake documents. And again, I don't know why they waited for so long to come up with this indictment at this point. Actually, I know that any transfer or deposit in excess of 10,000 US dollars is promptly reported to the authorities and well documented. Anyway, I'm not too sure what happened in this case, and I'm not here to justify anything. Mr. Onyema has since responded to the indictment through his lawyers, saying that he is innocent of the charges and US government will find no debt on him because he has never conducted business with any illegalities and he has never laundered money in his lifetime, and neither has he committed bank fraud anywhere in the world, that every kobo he transferred to US for aircraft purchase went through Central Bank of Nigeria, and all were used for the same purpose. The American companies that received the funds are still in business, that he never took any penny from any US bank or Nigerian bank, that he's willing to defend his innocence in the US court. It is quite unfortunate that this is happening to this guy at this point. I kind of sensed this when he started trending after evacuating stranded Nigerians in South Africa. There was so much light on him and a lot of people making comments about the source of his wealth. So I felt that these people might decide to go after this guy. Let's see how events unfold. I hope you'll be able to pull through this, and most especially when this indictment is coming from the United States. I know in Nigeria there are some things that our system overlook that other countries don't joke with, like a case of this oil block, which is supposed to be owned by Nigeria, not being run by individuals like Mike Adenoga, Dan Etete, Folarunsho Alakija, Theophilus Danjuma, Emekofa, and host of other ones. And somebody like Dangote is named the richest man in Africa by Forbes because he has built-in advantage with Nigerian government, which enforce and encourage monopolies and the destruction of all competition. So when you look at it closely, you see that some of these billionaires have 1 or 2 allegations trailing their names, and Donald Trump is not left out of this because he is being accused of tax evasion. Anyway, following the indictment of Mr. Onyema and Mr. Eghagha for alleged money laundering and bank fraud in the United States, American authorities estimated that Mr. Onyema initiated wire transfers to the tune of 44.9 million US dollars between 2010 and 2018. About 14 million US dollars traced to his company's bank account in the US and Canada have been frozen as part of investigation while federal authorities pursue a final forfeiture order. The court documents show that approximately 4 million US dollars was seized from JP Morgan Chase Bank, and this is held in the name of Springfield Aviation Company, and about 10 million US dollars held in Bank of Montreal under the names of Blue Stream Aero Services and Springfield Aviation Incorporated. It was also noted that major aspects of the alleged fraud were committed within US. However, some of the bank accounts used in carrying out the transactions are domiciled in Canada. If found guilty of charges, Mr. Onyema stands to forfeit about 14 million US dollars currently trapped in bank accounts linked to him in the US and Canada. So this is part of the reason why some of these billionaires, they prefer to stay on their own and sometimes go into hiding so that the beam light will not come searching for them and they seem to go off the radar. Like I said, fingers crossed, let's keep watching and see how the event will unfold. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think it's a setup, or do you think somebody snitched on him? Or do you think this investigation has been on before this time? I'm gonna sign off here. Stay healthy and safe. Remember to share this video with family and friends if you love it. And remember to subscribe to my channel if you've not done already. And I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Bye.